Impulse right you are. That's it. Impulse right.
No, it's been quite a while. I mean, my blog is actually turning 10 years next year. So it's been there for almost a decade. But, April. But through the years, of course, I've been going through a lot of different endeavors. Now I'm actually more focused on heritage conservation. So that's how you can reach me, at least there. Before I talk about the Philippines, I want to ask you questions. Are you familiar with the different landmarks of ASEAN countries? Yes. Singapore. Cambodia. Or what? Malaysia. This one. Thailand. You will see this symbol all over. It's called the Temple of God. Are you familiar with this? You will see this symbol all over. How about Laos? Laos. This is also their national symbol, the one Tatwa. How about Indonesia? Number of the world. Of course, there are ASEAN countries, but I have a question now. How about the Philippines? How about the Philippines? There is a debate. We don't even know what our national landmark is. What our national symbol is. So, okay. The point is, we are Filipinos. No? What makes us Filipino? What should we be proud of as Filipinos? I'm sure narinig nyo na ito. Ang hindi marunong lumingon sa pinanggalingan ay hindi makakarating sa Paracola. And it's very important for us as Filipinos to understand that salawikain. No? Ano ba yung mga salawikain? What are salawikain? Parang mga yan, mga pakapyaw ng mga lolo natin sa atin, di ba? Mga paaral. These are reminders of what they've experienced before, and they're trying to tell us something today. No? And what are they trying to say here? If we don't know how to love our culture, if we don't know how to love our history, we won't progress as a nation. No? We won't move forward as a nation. And that's very important for ASEAN integration. Diba? Ano yung magiging contribution ng Philippines when it comes to culture? No, if we don't even know what our culture is all about. No? I'm currently the president of the Heritage Conservation Society, and we believe that it is important to have a Philippine society that preserves its culture and heritage in order to instill pride in the place. What is pride in the place? What is pride? You know? We have to be proud of who we are as Filipinos, and for us to be proud, we should know who we are. And that is where national identity comes in. We have to strengthen that Philippine national identity. What's that identity? It's up to us to determine. I think it's this generation which will finally decide what that Philippine identity is. There have been so many cultures intermixed with indigenous Filipino culture. Now, it's for us to decide, and we have to decide really fast. Because we can't enter the ASEAN integration if we are still confused. Now, I have a question. How many UNESCO World Heritage Sites do we have in the Philippines? What's a World Heritage Site? What's a World Heritage Site first? It's a property, a natural or cultural property that is of outstanding universal value to humanity. Such strong words, but let's talk about it. Outstanding meaning it's the best. Universal meaning it transcends all cultures. Value. What is value? It means that it speaks of, it is representative of that particular culture, that particular time in history. And in the Philippines, how many do we have? We have 6. 6 plus plus, and I'll explain that later. Of course, the first one and the most popular will be the rice terraces of the Philippine Cordilleras. No? There are 5 clusters in the rice terraces. No? There's Bataan, if you've been there, Bataan. Next slide. Of course, the most popular is, next slide, Bataan. No? Pinaka-popular yan sa lima. Known for its amphitheater terraces. There's Bungtuan, no? Mayoyaw. Okay. Ito, yung group na to, the locals of Mayoyaw actually came up with cultural tours, no? Mga bata yung ngayon, they were in their 20s, it was a youth group, and they decided, you know, let's invite people to come during the rice harvest and the planting of rice, no? So, every time they invite tourists, they wear their traditional dresses, no? Next slide. Ito yung harvest time, no? Sabay-sabay, sasabay ka doon sa kanila, no? Nag-harvest na rice. Next slide. Do you know how to harvest rice in the rice terrace? How do you harvest rice? Ganon, di ba? Pero sa kanila, may blade ka dito sa daliri, and then you cut the stalks one by one. Why? Okay, look at this bundle. Each bundle has the same number of rice stalks. Bilang yan. Bakit kaya? Balance. What do you think? Okay, etong practice din sa rice terraces. They plant rice at different times. Mauuna muna itong family na ito, tapos yung susunod na family and then the next one. Bakit? Because labor is within the community. So sabay-sabay sila tutulong. Dito muna tayo sa cluster number 8. Letter A, sorry. Eh tapos, next cluster naman tayo. During the harvest, ganun din yung nangyayari. Unang magmamature yung sa isang family, buong community tutulong sa kanila. And then they will move from one cluster to another. And bakit equal yan? Kasi at the end of the day, paghahati-hatihan nila yung the harvest, and everyone gets an equal share. No? So, ganun yung style doon. So, when you help the family, you get an equal share at the end of the day. Yan, equal yan. Next slide, please. So, yan yung tour that they organize. Next slide. Yeah, and of course, nagkakada, no? And in 2012, the rice terraces of the Philippine Cordilleras were removed from the list of World Heritage Endangered. No? It means that the efforts, no, that is very, very important to us, no? The efforts that have been done to preserve the rice terraces has been very successful and has been removed from the list. Question: how does one preserve the rice terraces? Do you need the government to give out money? Well, ito, money. Let's give you funds. Sige, ayusin yung rice terraces niyo. Is that what's needed? Okay, I've been hearing the answer. And the answer to that is for us to be able to preserve the rice terraces. We have to encourage people to continue planting rice. No? But how do you do that if young people, ay, gusto ko mag-aaral sa Baguio City. I want to go down to Isabela and, you know, I will get my degree from there, no? And after that, I'm enjoying the city, I look for work here. Who will be left to plant rice in the rice terraces? Easier said than done, no? On one hand, we know what needs to be done, but on the other hand, how do you help? No? How do you help convince people to continue planting rice? And that's actually been one of the biggest problems of the rice terraces. No? Paano mo tutuloy yung pagtatanim kung yung mga kabataan ngayon ayaw na nila magpalit? Siyempre, kung kami may new biro, maghapon na rin mo, di ba? It's very difficult. And one solution that they were able to do was that they packaged the rice from the rice terraces, and they call it World Heritage Rice. No? It's being sold in the US at a premium. No? So ngayon, inaakay nila yung presyo ng rice. Sabi nga nila, wala daw GMOs at rice from the rice terraces. Totoo ba yun? Wala daw GMO ang rice from the rice terraces kasi hindi pa daw magagawa. Naturally. Ayan, okay. So, that's ano. Ito naman yung Banawarized terraces. I always show this picture. Kasi yung 20 peso bill natin, di ba, yung rice terraces at sa likod, yung Banawe, hindi siya kasama doon sa UNESCO World Heritage Site, no? So, sayang, kamali sila doon, dapat hindi siya World Heritage Site. Check site. Okay na lang. Nanapera na ako, So, ito, one of my favorite cultural landscapes, Batanes. Diba? And of course, we have their stone houses in Batanes, very, very neat architecture. Famous stone houses, of course, it's not a Filipino Spanish colonization. And what I like about Batanes, yung mga bagong structures, ginagamit pa nila yung they still use the traditional architecture. That this is like a bed and breakfast in Batanes. What's the other World Heritage Site? Vigan. No? Okay, why is Vigan important to us? Because in the 1980s, did you know that there were moves to demolish all the houses in Vigan? Bakit? They were falling apart. Ang pangit ng Vigan, as in it was crumbling, pinabayaan, wala ng tao, no? But conservationists in the 1980s said, wait, don't touch those structures. They may be dilapidated today. But if we have funds in the future, they will bring in economic investment and economic activity to Vigan. And what is it today? Vigan is one of the only places in the Philippines where property prices went up because of heritage. Bibili ka naman lumang bahay ngayon, sobrang mahal. Bakit? Kasi pwede kong gawin bed and breakfast. No? At the same time, everyone benefits from tourism in Vigan. Bakit? Dahil maraming tao kumikita yung nagbebenta ng banana. Kumikita yung gumagawa ng apelito. Kumikita yung driver ng kalesa. No? And that's very important. If you want to preserve the heritage in your community, you have to make sure that the grassroots and local stakeholders, the local community are benefiting from it. Sige, speed up na natin. That's Vigan. In 2012, the Historical of Vigan was awarded by UNESCO as the best practice in World Heritage Site management. No? The third World Heritage Site, Baroque churches in the Philippines. Ilan yung Baroque churches? Apat. First is Kawai. Second is Santa Maria. Third is San Agustin. San Agustin, and the fourth? Hindi. Hindi. Miagao, Iloilo. No? So those are the four World Heritage Sites. But we're trying to expand that. No? So here are other churches. Hindi pa sa World Heritage. Pero ito in particular, San Sebastian. Yung San Sebastian. What's unique about it? It's completely made out of steel. The steel is completely made out of steel, no? Prefabricated in Europe, tapos pinalamin sa Pilipinas. There's the Taal Basilica, and there are other churches. Ito, Betis, magandang ceiling murals. Ito, here's Fairfire. And even, cemetery chapels are very beautiful. This one is in San Roque, Iloilo. Tayabas. Ito yung longest aisle. So, yung pag kinasal kayo, tapos gusto nyo matagal yung limos, hindi kayo magpasa. So, this is one of my favorites, yung Garment Church. And Kansawa. But of course, we all know, ayan naman yun, the Philippines is not new to natural. It's paano ba sabihin natin? Suki tayo sa kalamidad. May bulan, may lindol, may bagyo, may baha. No? Favorite tayo. So, just to show you what can happen, no? I think noon, today, nasira yan. Ito, they're trying to recover. This is work by the National Museum niya. Ganda-ganda na simbahan niya. This is the Baclayon Church before the earthquake. This is what happened here. So ito yung recovery operation, and buti na lang yung loob hindi nasira. Ito yung loob, no? This was inside. This what happened. Nearly destroyed. All of these are national cultural treasures. Ito yung bell tower na sinila. Ito yung Marigold Church. Ito yung nangyari. Another national cultural treasure, totally destroyed as well by the earthquake. Ito yung recovery operation. And young people in Marigold are actually helping catalog all the artifacts and items that have been recovered from the church for safekeeping until such a time na ma-decide kung ano yung gagawin sa mga simbahan. Ito yung watchtower in Marigold. This is Dallas Church. This is what happened. Facade fell down. This is how it looks now. This is the inside. Medyo intact pa siya, but there's damage on the side. This is the white church. Nahulog din siya sa harap. And then this is Cortez Church. The facade also was damaged. Inside there are lots of cracks, and this is the NCC team visiting the site. But hindi lang earthquake, would you believe that even the typhoon Ilana was able to destroy the national cultural treasure? And this is the D1 Church. And what's very unique about the D1 Church is that it's the only church in the Philippines that uses shells as a decorative element. So, from what I know, the U.S. government is actually going to fund the reconstruction of this church. So, maraming mga ginagawa. So, why do we need to preserve our heritage? Number one, we've lost a lot. Have you seen pictures of Manila before World War II? No? It was a beautiful city. That's why we were called the Pearl of the Orient, but unfortunately, it's gone. No? Wala tayong magagawa. We can't bring back time anymore. We can't reconstruct the entire city. But what we can do is we can make sure that what is left is conserved. No? There's a difference between preservation and conservation. When you say conservation, it means that you can use it for something else. Kasi preservation means that you will maintain it as it is. Para sa museum, para sa fossil. It's like a fossil, you don't touch it. But when you say conserve, it means you can reuse it. That's why we have adaptive reuse. Here's an example. In Sinai City, this old house was converted into what? A bank. Ayan ang RCPC. Hindi nila binabako yung facade. The bank is on the first floor, they have a bodega on the second floor, but the house is still there. You don't need to demolish the old house. How about this? Ano to dati? This used to be the main train station of Manila. Kumbaga, may central station kaya in other countries, Union Station, and whatever. This was Manila train station, and it's now a mall. No? Hindi nila ginibak yan para gawing shopping area. Ito sa Makati ito. What's Nielsen Tower? It's Blackbird now, it's a restaurant, but it is the first airport of Manila. So, makikita niya yan sa likod. No! Our runways were Ayala Avenue and Paseo de Rojas. The first flight of Philippine Airlines took off from Ayala Avenue. No? So, very historical. They did not demolish the terminal building. Ginawa nilang library dati. It used to be Philippines Heritage Library. It's now a restaurant. This is called the Leche, a milk station converted to office space. This one is the first National City Bank in Kyoto. So, you can see that it's been retrofitted. Ang plan nila dyan is to house call centers. So, here it is. And note that they added an extra floor on top. Hindi nyo siya mapapansin. It's very nicely done. And next year, the Museum of Natural History will be opening. The former DOT building will be opening next year as the Museum of Natural History. So, watch out for this. Adaptive reuse. So, ito siya sa labas. It's the same facade. This is in Rizal Park. They'll just add the dome on top. So, there's a little bit of modification. And they're using a lot of green technology. Finally, we still continue to face challenges. Marami pa rin tayong problema when it comes to heritage. For example, this bridge in Nueva Vizcaya, DPWH was going to demolish this road widening. 200-year-old bridge. But the locals of Ducax, the locals of Nueva Vizcaya, they brought their case online, they fought hard, and finally they decided, okay, we're not touching the bridge. There's damage to it, hopefully it will get repaired by the National Museum. Army Navy Club, I'm sure you've heard of this issue. It's a very beautiful American colonial building. The contractor, the owner, gotten it inside without the proper permits, so kaya sila na siya, but we're hoping to bring it back to its former glory. Of course, they also want to reclaim that beautiful area of Manila Bay. If you notice, this small stretch over here is the last stretch that hasn't been reclaimed. So this is the original shoreline of Manila. O, yan na lang, ano ulit? No, ano yung mga beaches natin dati? We used to have city beaches. In fact, if you research online, you will find a picture of Gloria Diaz in her swimsuit in Pasay Beach. Which is, I think, where baka pagkalami yung area is already. There used to be Pasay Beach, there was Paranaque Beach, and there was Tondo Beach. So we lost pala urban beaches or reclamation. So yeah, goodbye. You will lose that if you don't find. Of course, our national landmark is now Orden de Manila. So yeah, medyo matagal na itong picture ni Carlos siya na hindi but ano yan, ilang floors na yan. When it's completed, this is an old picture of Rizal Park, and this is how high it's estimated to be based from where you're standing. So there you have it. That's the view. So when we do our reclaiming ceremonies and all that in Rizal Park, this is what we see. You know? Unfortunately. And finally, ang pinakamainit na issue ngayon is El Hogar building. El Hogar is turning 100 next month. Centennial El Hogar. And among heritage advocates, we are now branding this the most beautiful building in Manila ever built during the pre-war period. So, gano'n siya ka-importante, gano'n siya ka-significant. And there is now a move. Nandiyan pa rin siya, nakatayo pa rin siya, but we know that it was been purchased by a developer. That's what we've been getting. There has been no confirmation yet, but we might lose it. That's why we really need to step up the campaign to preserve, especially Escolta District. So this is El Hogar. This is the view of El Hogar. Ito yung natapos na retrofit. It's ironic that, pwede masira to. Because this area of Binondo used to be a very beautiful area. In fact, you could have compared it in its heyday. No? It should have been the boat. Are you familiar with Shanghai, the boat? No? That's how it should have looked before. Unfortunately, we weren't able to preserve the buildings there. These are the last few remaining. Hopefully, we're able to preserve that. So, again, if we do not fight hard to preserve our heritage, we will lose our identity as a nation. Ano pa yung Manila kung wala na yung dating heritage sites niya, no? So, hopefully, as young people, we fight and work hard to preserve that heritage, because that heritage is our identity as a country, as a nation. Thank you very much.